Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a super quick full body feel good class for you. It's 12 minutes long and will burn into all of the muscles that make up our core, which of course is everything that falls below the shoulders and above the tops of the knees. All you need is yourself and your mat. So let's roll it out and begin. Let's start today nice and easy in a child's pose. We'll sit at the back of the mat and spread our knees a little bit wider than shoulder distance apart to really let our chest sink down towards the ground. We'll reach through our fingertips, making one really long spine. And on our exhale, let's press up to a tabletop. Tucking the toes, we'll come straight into a plank and chaturanga down. Let's squeeze the shoulder blades together as we press into swan. And then we'll drive it back to a downward dog, releasing the toes at the top. Repeating that motion, let's drop the knees down to a tabletop, press to child's pose, and then drive forward into a full plank, chaturanga down. We'll press the elbows in towards the sides as we look up, tuck the toes, and this time head straight back for your downward dog. We're going to repeat this series 4 more times, working from our child's pose to plank, chaturanga to upward facing dog or swan pose, pressing back to downward dog, and then releasing the toes at the top. We really want to press flat through all of the joints in our fingers just to make sure we're not dumping any unnecessary weight into our wrists and we're engaging our core in our plank. You guys are doing great. Hopefully we're starting to feel the core and the shoulders warm up. We just have one more like this and then we'll move on to a new exercise. From our last downward dog, we're going to lift the heels as high as we can and drop the knees into a tabletop, walking the palms back underneath the shoulders. Keep those shoulders pressed far down away from the ears. As we keep those toes tucked, we'll hover the knees 1 inch above the mat and then peel the hips back to a downward dog, pressing through those shoulders. Again, we'll exhale to shift forward, just lightly tapping the knees on the mat, and inhale, drive the hips back to a downward dog. Let's keep moving with our breath 3 more times. And 2. Last one, let's level it up from here. We're going to lift the heels into a downward dog, and this time as we draw the knees forward to tabletop, our right leg will extend behind us in line with our spine, so it's nice and lifted. We're activating our glutes, and we'll keep going like this, alternating legs as we drop into tabletop and lift to downward dog. Let's do 2 more each side. And on this last one, hold that right leg extended. We'll pulse the heel up to the sky, holding the left knee in hover just a couple inches above the mat. Lift the hips to downward dog, and left leg will extend as we draw to tabletop and pulse. Great job, everyone. Lift those hips to 1 more tabletop. We'll step the feet shoulder distance apart and walk the hands a little bit farther out from our legs. With our next exhale, we're going to shift into a full plank, rolling those shoulders back and lifting the chest to have some great posture. We'll bend the knees and peel the hips back. Syncing this movement with our breath, we inhale through the nose as we peel back to our downward dog, and we exhale through the mouth, drawing the belly button up towards the spine as we shift forward into our plank. Let's add on from here, lifting the right leg. We'll shift from a 3-legged dog to a 3-legged plank with an exhale, and we'll alternate over to the left side. So we'll go right and left, still moving with our breath, still peeling from plank to downward dog. 3 more times. And 2. 1 more time each leg, this time holding our plank, right leg lifted. Let's pulse that heel up and up. Using little exhales through our mouth, we'll take it back to downward dog. This time left leg will lift in our plank. We'll pulse, little exhales, and lift downward dog. Let's drop the knees down and press to a nice child's pose. You definitely deserve it. That was a lot for our shoulders. They should be nice and warm. We can roll out the wrists here in this position before we move on. And whenever you're ready, we'll cross our ankles behind us, scooting onto our glutes and into the center of the mat. We'll roll all the way down to our backs, lifting our feet up off the mat. We'll hug the knees into the chest. Let's start off our core series by turning on our lower abs with some double leg stretch. So we'll exhale and curl up into our Pilates bug position. Inhale, let's rest the head back down. Nice little warm up here. We'll exhale, curl up. This time, let's extend arms and legs to 45 degrees before circling the arms around as we tuck those knees back in towards the chest. We'll do this 4 more times. Using our breath, we exhale, extend, and inhale, draw in. Keep drawing that belly button down towards the ground. We just got 1 more. We'll draw the arms by the hips and take on Pilates 100. So we pump the arms to inhale for 5 counts and exhale for 5. We'll continue just like this for 4 more breaths. If you need to bend those knees into a tabletop position just to preserve the hip flexor muscles because they're giving you some stress, go ahead and do that. Just a couple more breaths from here. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, and then hug the knees into the chest. We can rest the head down. After a couple moments here, just to catch our breath, let's plant the left foot down on the mat and extend the right toes up to the ceiling. Holding onto the back of that calf, we'll flex and bend that knee into the chest and then point and extend the leg long, just taking a second to really stretch out the hamstring, the calf, all those muscles in the backs of the legs. Then hover the left leg about a foot above the mat and we'll take some scissor switches, pulsing for 2 exhales and then inhaling each time we switch the legs. If you need to rest the head down because the muscles in your neck start bothering you, you can go ahead and do that. Otherwise, let's keep going, holding this crunch position and hollowing out the belly by pulling the belly button back towards the spine. Let's release the right foot down to the mat and stretch out our left side. Flex and bend, point and extend for 1 more. Nice job. Let's extend the right leg to hover. Exhale back into that crunch. This time take the hands behind the head and we'll continue that switch of the legs. Again, if you need to rest the head down, go ahead and do so, but make sure we're rooted down into the mat through both hips, both sits bones. Just a couple more from here. Great job. Hug those knees in and rest. Let's interlace our fingers, wrapping our arms around our legs, and we'll rock back with an exhale, rolling up to sit, coming forward into tabletop in the center of the mat. We'll move into our glutes series by tucking our right toes underneath, and we'll exhale to drive that heel straight up to the ceiling with an exhale, drawing the belly button back towards the spine. Each inhale, we drop the knee back into tabletop. With this last one, let's hold the heel lifted and pulse it up and up using our little exhales, just like we did earlier. From there, walk down to your forearms. We'll extend the leg out to the side and then flex and bend that leg, drawing it back to center directly behind our head. With our inhale, we'll extend it out, and with our exhale, we'll draw it back, holding the knee lifted as high as we can to squeeze that glute. Let's hold it out to the side, tap down and up. Inhale, lower, and exhale, lift. Try to keep those hips as stable as possible, and we'll do 1 more. Carry that leg back to center and out, holding it extended the whole time. 1 more time, we draw it out and back to center before we lower gently down to the mat. Let's press back up to our tabletop. Tucking the left toes, we'll repeat that combination on this left side. Drive the heel up first, drawing the belly button up towards the spine as we lift that heel and inhaling through the nose as we drop the knee to tabletop. Let's hold it lifted and pulse up. Using those little exhales to help you out. From here, we'll come down onto our forearms and extend that leg out to the side before drawing it back through center with a flexed foot and bent knee. We'll keep going just like this, a couple more. And then we extend out to the side, we hold, inhale to drop that toe down to the ground, and exhale to lift straight up towards the diagonal. We just have a couple more of these. And fold back in through center. We extend out to the side and hold that leg long as we draw it through center again. We're gonna keep going for 1 more. And fold the knee back into tabletop. Gently, we'll press back up to our palms and knees. We have 1 more combo to do for our glutes on each leg. So with our exhale, we'll lift the knee into a fire hydrant, point the toes as we extend the leg long in line with the rest of the spine. We'll fold the knee back in and lower down. So we just exhale to lift. We'll inhale, extend, exhale, fold that knee in, and inhale, drop into tabletop. 1 more. Let's pulse the knee in this fire hydrant position up and up. Before we lower down and get started on the other side, we start with the lift. Inhale, extend, exhale, bend, and inhale, lower. Just a few more. Trying to keep those hips nice and stable so we're not rocking through the spine as we do this exercise, but our glutes are holding all of that weight. Fold the knee in. Let's finish with those pulses. And rest. Great job. From here, we're going to take a chaturanga down to our belly for our last series of class, working the muscles in our spine and our shoulders. Walk those feet out about shoulder distance apart, heels together. Press the palms below the shoulders. We're going to slide shoulder blades down the spine to lift the chest into cobra, and then we'll shrug the shoulders down as we drop the chest to the mat. Let's continue with this. We're activating those lower lats, or the muscles that fall just below our bra line, as we exhale and slide those shoulder blades down. That's when we really feel it. But to increase that burn, we're going to lift the palms up in our cobra, still squeezing shoulder blades together. We're driving our weight down through our elbows. Let's do one more and lower the chest. Take a deep breath here before we press up one more time to cobra, and this time we're going to slide our elbows out to a cactus, drop the chest, and we'll slide the arms back in below the shoulders. So we'll lift the chest into cobra. Exhale, open the arms wide. Inhale, lower the chest gently, and exhale, draw those elbows back in to press up. This is our last exercise of class, so really try to lift the chest as high as you can and hold it at that height. With our last one, we'll take pulses up and up, squeezing the glutes behind us before we gently lower the chest to the mat. Let's slide the palms back underneath the ribs and we'll press to a well-deserved child's pose, taking our time through cat pose to really stretch the spine in the opposite direction. Let's walk our fingertips back to sit tall on top of our heels. And we'll finish out class with some stretches that our body needs to recover, starting with a rainbow arm up and over towards the left side. We'll inhale as we switch to the right, really stretching out the side body. With our next inhale, we'll reach both arms up through center and exhale, circle down, opening the chest. Let's draw left hand around right thigh to find a little twist for the spine over towards the right. We take our chin all the way back behind us. Let's inhale through center and exhale, right arm finds left thigh. We find a little twist on this side. Coming through center, we're going to scoot to the center of the mat, find our legs in a comfortable crisscross seated position in the center of the mat. We finish with our last deep breath of class. Exhale, let the ribs fall down over the hips. Thank you guys so much for moving with me in this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It really helps support me. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you guys next time.